Good evening. How are you? Today we're going to do a new topic, which is our second part in our journey for atoms and bonding. We are going to do covalent bond. Last class, if you remember, we were doing ionic bond. For today, we are going to do covalent one. Okay, so what's the difference? When do I say in this element is going to do ionic? When do I say it's going to do covalent? For the covalent, we said in a covalent is always happening between non-metals, but for ionic is going to happen between a metal and a non-metal. Okay, so last class we're done with ionic bond. For today we are going to do covalent bond. So this means I'm having all non-metals. Okay, yalla, let's start. Well, let's see what's the difference between the ionic bond and the covalent one. Okay, first of all, if I'm going to talk about non-metals, can you please mute if you don't mind? Rana, can you please mute?
Okay.
Thank you. So again, if I'm going to talk about non-metals, something like hydrogen, as an example, the hydrogen is going to do what? Yani every hydrogen is having only one electron. Type. Since the hydrogen is having only one electron, what does the hydrogen do? What do you think? The hydrogen is going to do what? Every hydrogen is only having one electron. يعني every hydrogen want to be stable. So it's going to gain or it's going to lose. It cannot gain, it cannot lose. So the only option is to share. يبقى the only option is to share. يعني this hydrogen has only one electron. Well, again, this hydrogen has only one electron. So both of them, they are going to share the electrons together. So these two electrons are here and are here. يعني they rotate at this side or at this side. So this means in both hydrogen atoms are going to be stable at this stage. Why they are going to be stable? عشان if we check now, you're going to find for every hydrogen, as I said, I was having one electron. But for now, since in both of them, they are going to share the electrons. So these electrons are for this hydrogen or again for this hydrogen. But this means in both of them are both of them are stable for this one and for this one. But why they are stable for the ones who are newcomers and they don't know about the atom? They are stable because the first shell is going to be filled by 2 electrons. But since in هما already the hydrogen is having 2 electrons the hydrogen doesn't have except only one shell, well, first shell is filled by 2, يبقى this means in already this hydrogen is stable, or again this hydrogen is stable. Okay? Let's continue. If I'm having something like this, مثلا something like Cl.
Miss,
Yes.
our hydrogen cannot lose even though it's a non-metal? I mean, it's not metal.
Okay, no.
It
Hydrogen
cannot.
is going to share. So for this one, this is chlorine. طبعا in the exam, I gave them this question before, I told them draw chlorine molecule. ما شاء الله, they draw for me one chlorine atom. But please, Allah يخليك, please, when I ask you draw chlorine molecule, so you need to draw only one. For sure, this is wrong. This is not a chlorine molecule. Chlorine molecule, it means you need to draw 2 of them. وboth of them are intersecting كده together. Covalent bond. So when I tell you draw chlorine, وهو أكيد he's not going to come and tell you draw chlorine atom. أكيد for sure he's not going to say this. For sure he's going to say chlorine molecule. يعني this means I need to draw 2 chlorines together. Every chlorine is intersecting the other. طيب. The point is, how should I start this? يعني you need to check. You need to do configuration for every one. أو distribution. Electronic configuration أو electronic distribution. Every chlorine is having 17 electrons. طب since إن عندها 17 electrons, يبقى this means 2, 8, 7. لأن the first shell قلنا it is filled with with 2. And then the second shell is filled with 8. Cannot take more than 8. And then the third shell can take up to 8. But I only have 7 left. يبقى I will write 7. We hear the same. طيب, if every chlorine is having 7 electrons in the outer shell, I'm having 7 electrons in the outer shell. يبقى this means every chlorine is going to do what? Every chlorine is going to share by كام? Every chlorine is going to share by 1 only. يبقى this means, from where do I know every chlorine will share by 1? Why not by 2 or by 3? Because you always check the outer shell. If you find that you need to check how many electrons do you still need to be stable. If I'm having here, let's say 6 electron, يبقى this means I need 2 more. طب if 7, يبقى I need 1 more. طب if it is 5, يبقى I need 3 more. And so on. يبقى you always check the outer shell so you can see how many electrons do you still need to be stable. For every chlorine, لأنه طبعا this is a very common mistake مع students الحلوين. They are always confused about this. They don't know how many electrons should I lose or should I gain or should I share. For covalent, they always share. Okay, so you will just do one thing. You are going to draw the configuration, to write the configuration, and you will check the outer shell needs how many electrons to be stable. Since in عندها 7 electrons, but this means everyone will share by 1, and that's it. Okay, طيب. Once I did the sharing, I shared, everyone will share by 1. Still how many electrons? Oh, everyone will share by 1. طب still for everyone need how many more to be stable? اهو يعني انا already I shared by 1. احنا قلنا ان هي 287. I shared by 1 بس still في 6 electrons في الاوتر shell I didn't use. يبقى you need to draw them here. يبقى once again الquestion في covalent bond for Cambridge and for Edexcel is a 2-mark question. 1 mark to draw electrons that are shared together in the correct way. والsecond mark to draw these electrons اللي هم non-sharing electrons in the correct way. يبقى you need to do this correctly or you need to do this correctly, both. طيب, if you want to know how should I do this, you will check 287. طبعا for covalent you always draw outer shell only. You don't draw ال2 وال8. No. For ionic bond you have the choice. You can draw the inner ones or you can't. لكن في covalent error على طول. No. We only draw the outer shell. طيب, يبقى I have here 7 electrons in the outer shell. I will draw only what? I need how many more to be stable? I need 1 more. And then في 6 electrons. They are not used in sharing. That's why I'll put 6 here or I'll put 6 here. This is a single covalent bond. يعني every Cl is shared. يعني when I do a dash like this means in this shares by 1 or this share by 1. Okay, يعني everyone, when it is a single dash كده, يبقى this means everyone shared by 1. طيب, let's continue.
Miss,
Yes.
هو الكلورين في الحالة دي هنسميه compound ولا diatomic element؟
It's not a compound. Compound must be different types. This is an element. Since it's not related, 100 times I'm saying the same. Take care, element to compound, it's not related to the number of the atoms. يعني if I'm talking about oxygen, chlorine, bromine, fluorine, iodine, since in every one it's whatever بقى هم 2 ولا 3 atoms, it's not the point, بس one type. يعني oxygen يعني OO, FOF, ClOCl, BRO, BR. يبقى this means these are elements. When do I say it's a compound? When they are different types, يا جوجو. Like carbon dioxide, like water, like methane. At this time, it is different types. You got my point?
Okay, thank you.
Compound. Yes, exactly. You're welcome. Thank you, Ido. Correct. That's true. طيب, let's continue. طب I want to draw بقى oxygen molecule. So what should I draw? I'm going to draw configuration. Take care. That's good that I remembered. Take care. When I draw the oxygen molecule, please take care I'm using the small number. I don't use the big number. يعني it is oxygen 8. So 2 and 6. 2 and 6. طب if you go and you will take 2 and 6. If you didn't يعني لأن الأكسجين في البريودك تيبل 16 و 8. If you use the 16, it's going to be a very big problem. صح؟ أكيد for sure. So you need which one? You need to use the one with a small number, not with a big number. So please take care. Okay? I think I remembered something I didn't send on the chemistry lovers. I made, if I can show you here, I made a very nice periodic table. I forgot. If you want me to send it on the group, I will show you. a very good periodic table والله for my students. So maybe I can send it on chemistry lovers. Maybe it's going to help you while studying. Here is it. Did you see? مش عارفة it's clear or not. You see? Oh, here is it. See?
Yeah, we can see.
Yes, we can see.
It's all the properties almost there. See? All the
Can
properties.
you send it?
It's all يعني the majority of not everything طبعا بس يعني the majority of the points are there on the periodic table. But if you want it you can no, but I don't want to send it on the group عشان maybe a student will use the one for Cambridge instead of Edexcel, so they will get confused. So if you want it, just tell me, I will send it to you. You can just, if you text me, I will send it to you privately. لأنه I'm afraid, but I will put it on the group, so لأنه the periodic table is a little bit different for Cambridge and for Edexcel. For my students already, I printed them, I made it laminated, and they are using it nowadays. It's really nice. What I will make, inshallah, this week, I will make the same for moles coming. I will make the rules for the moles, برضو in one, يعني something like this, برضو colored, so it's going to be easy for the ones who are having a problem برضو with the moles. By the way, for the moles, if anyone is having a problem with the moles, I'm going to do this Sunday and Tuesday, the moles, inshallah, from the beginning at 1 o'clock. يلا بينا. Let's do for oxygen. I remember this one I'm talking about the numbers. So I'm having 16 or 8. So which number should I use? أكيد for sure I'm going to use the small number. I'm not going to use the big number. يبقى I'm using 8, so 2, 6. Right, for every oxygen is having 6 electrons in the outer shell. طب if it's having 6 electrons in the outer shell, يبقى this means that every oxygen needs how many electrons to be stable? This means that every oxygen needs 2 more to be stable. لأنه already I want as an oxygen to have 8 electrons in the outer shell. يبقى this means إنه every one oxygen is going to share by 2. Well, this what will happen. أهو check. Every oxygen is going to share by كم? Every oxygen is going to share by 2, as you see here. طيب بس take care. Everyone shared by 2. طب still how many electrons في the outer shell I didn't use? هما already كانوا 6 electrons في the outer shell. I used 2 in bonding. يبقى 3 still how many I didn't use?
4.
6. I shared by 2. يبقى still 4 electrons I didn't use in bonding. That's why I will draw here 4 and I will draw here 4. This is how I should draw the oxygen molecule. Okay, what about nitrogen? I will ask you, this is the question I gave them in my mocks before last year in the school. MashaAllah, our lovely students, instead of drawing a nitrogen molecule, they draw a nitrogen atom. only one circle كده. But please take care. This is nitrogen molecule. يعني nitrogen ونيتروجين 7 و7. So 2 and 5 و2 and 5. Since 2 and 5 و2 and 5 يبقى I'm having في outer shell 5 electrons. يبقى this means I need how many more? I was having 5 يبقى I need 3 more to be stable. يبقى every nitrogen will share by إيه؟ يبقى every nitrogen will share by 3. This is what the nitrogen will do. Oh, it will share by 3. So if I'm sharing by 3 يبقى how many electrons I didn't use for sharing? If you check now, I was using
2.
Exactly. For everyone I was having 5. I shared by 3, يبقى still في 2 electrons I didn't use in sharing.
Miss,
Okay, so this is called N triple bond N. N triple bond N. يعني triple, يعني every nitrogen is going to share by 1 like this. Okay? Someone is asking, Karim, you're asking how the session is going to be 1 o'clock. This is not related to the main classes. I'm adding this for my students. I know a lot of my students, they need moles. Well, next week, we are all here in Kuwait. All the British schools are having, or the majority of the schools are having vacation next week. So we can take classes at 1. That's it.
is it
Normally
this month?
cannot, يعني. But so for this week only, because next week only is vacation. That's why I said it's a good chance to finish this topic. Sorry.
Is it this
Can you please
Sunday?
record the session because I have school at 1.
But I'm
Me
not.
too.
But I want to say something. But this class I'm not going to put on YouTube. لأنه this is not for everyone. Friday classes I put on YouTube, although this becomes a problem لأنه a lot of students, they are not joining and they are waiting for the record. That's why from the beginning I was not recording the classes, I was not uploading on YouTube لأنه the students are depending and they will not join and then they will see on YouTube. This starts to happen. If I find in all the time this will happen, I'm going to stop the records. Honestly يعني لأنه the point الtarget إنه to join the class, not to see the record. I'm putting the records for the ones who didn't join our classes from before, not to leave the class and check the record. For now, it's fine, but if I'm going to find that this is going to be repeated, I'm not going to upload again on YouTube, honestly.
Miss, I wanted to
1 minute, but I just want to add one point. Tuesday classes are not from the free classes of this group, but that's why I'm not going to upload it on YouTube. I'm saying this, so if any one of you is struggling with moles, you can contact me. I will tell you how to join. It's not going to be on YouTube or it's not going to be on the group. Honestly,
Miss, what are moles?
no, I cannot put all this very big number in one class. But this is the point. يلا بينا. If you need urgently the moles, you're having exam or whatever, just contact me. I will tell you the details for how you can join.
Miss, are you going to repeat it as if the person do not attend?
For now, والله يا جوجو, I don't have any time. بس يعني later if I have time I will. بس for now already يعني I'm working even Friday or Saturday from 7 a.m. continuous. I don't think so there will be free time. If I will do it again, I will tell you أكيد for sure. Okay.
Okay, Miss, I'm very sorry I didn't attend last Fridays. It's because I was literally so busy with the quizzes. They were giving us like many quizzes. I was like, what?
It's totally fine. It's totally fine, Ishraq. I can understand. لأنه me myself, I'm doing a lot of quizzes, so I can understand. But I want to tell you something. These quizzes help us to study. Me myself, if I'm a student with this teacher is not doing a quiz, I swear I'm not going to study. Me myself, I will not study. Why؟ لأنه إحنا we usually study when we know that we are having exams. يعني أنا in my tuition وأكيد في some students here أكيد with me in the tuition, they know in my classes every week we're having exams. Every week. Even in my class for school, all the time we're having exams. لأنه exams, it's going to help us a lot. I'm doing mocks كمان next week from the beginning of the topics. لأنه إحنا we don't study except we have exams. You will get used to it, Ishraq. Really, it's going to give you a very big experience about the questions, how we do the questions, how we answer it, how the marks are collected. But it's going to be يعني really helpful for sure. And you are going to find the record for last class on YouTube or on the group برضو. Which is the session? Which session? Our sessions is mainly Friday, every Friday. The other class is not for everyone. I'm not going to accept anyone except the ones who told me already. لأنه it's not for anyone. But if I'm saying, if you're having problems with the moles, you urgently need it. That's going to be next Sunday and Tuesday at 1 p.m. But as I told you, it's not for everyone. يعني I'm not going to accept everyone. And already this is a paid class, so I cannot. يعني it's supposed to be a certain limit of number of students. But I'm saying this لأنه maybe في 2-3 students مثلا they are facing problem. I know moles is so tricky, but that's why I want to help you. Yeah. Okay. يلا.
Miss, احنا لما بنيجي نرسم ال shared electrodes بنرسمها في النص ولا؟
You can draw anywhere. For this part, yes, you can draw anywhere.
Okay.
Miss,
Yes.
are the moles in the grade 9 syllabus or are they grade 10?
Usually they take it in year 10, but in some schools they give it in year 9. يعني in our school we teach moles in year 10, but in other schools they teach moles in year 9. I'm having a lot of students in tuition, they are having moles in year 9. هي moles يعني one of the tricky topics. For a lot of students it's so silly يعني. But if you understand it, it's so nice.
Okay.
I'm so bad at it, but I did a quiz. I got 8 out of 20. No, ya Ishraq, you need to do more. You are so bad in moles, as I told you. You can join this class. It will help a lot. Don't worry.
Inshallah.
Miss, can you,
Okay.
Miss, can you please record this class?
I have to pay for the more session. Again, يا ملك, it's not the point of payment. It's not a point that you pay or not. As I said, I'm going to take specific number. Let's say مثلا 20. I cannot add more than 20. يعني here for these classes, احنا last year we reached 80 participants in the class. Sometimes they were 90. No problem. For Friday classes, no problem. I accept everyone. But for the paid classes, I cannot accept except a certain limit. You got my point? But that's what I'm saying. You need to tell me before لأنه يعني I cannot accept everyone. I'm so sorry for that والله بس عشان I like to be fair. يلا بينا. So let's do بقى this one. This is for nitrogen. For this one, this is for nitrogen. Let's do for HCl. For HCl, I'm having H is 1 and 1. With CL is 35.5 or 17. Okay? Right. Which number am I going to use? I'm going to use the 1. I'm going to use the 17. So if you check here, you're going to find that the 17 is 287. But this means that every chlorine needs 1 electron to be stable. Needs 1 more, so it will share. Since it needs 1 electron, it will share by 1. Well, again, for hydrogen, it has 1, so it will share by 1. So once I'm going to draw them, I will draw them in every hydrogen share by 1, the chlorine by 1. With still في 6 electrons, I didn't use them in sharing. لأنه as I told you, I'm checking the outer shell. Since I'm having 7, I used 1 in sharing, يبقى still في 6 electrons, I didn't use them. That's why I put them here. Usually when you draw
They
the
have to be
electrons,
paired up.
excuse me?
They have to be paired up. Yeah.
Yes, you need to, yes, that's true. You need كمان when you draw the electrons, don't just scatter them. Usually put every 2s together. يعني don't scatter them, 6 electrons كده everywhere. Because we will take in AS, and usually دايما every 2 electrons, they are together. طيب. Starting here بقى, we're going to take when I have more than 1, يعني I'm not having only 2 atoms, no, I'm having more. Like water, like carbon dioxide, like methane, like ammonia. Sometimes when I say to the student, draw water, they got confused. No, you need to think in a very easy way. How many oxygen atoms are there? Here, 1 oxygen, 1 O. Since I have one atom of a kind, يعني 1 atom only oxygen, يبقى oxygen is going to be in the middle. Well, I have 2 hydrogen atoms, so both hydrogens are going to be at the sides. So 1 oxygen is here, and then here 2 hydrogens. You got the point? Why did I put the oxygen in the middle? Because I have only 1 oxygen. That's why I'm supposed to put it in the middle. With 2 hydrogen on both sides. Type oxygen is 8. So 2 and 6. طب if it is 6 electrons في outer shell, يبقى this means I need still 2 more to be stable. يبقى that's why it will share by 1 here or by 1 here. طب how many electrons I didn't use in sharing? How many? I didn't use, يعني I was having 6. I used 2 in sharing. يبقى still 4 are here. That's why I put 2 up or 2 down. We take care, there is a point that is really important. You can do something that's really easy. All the time when you have hydrogen, the hydrogen doesn't have except 1 electron. So simply you can just put the electron. And that's it. يعني all the time when you have hydrogen doesn't have except 1 electron. So you will share with the electron. And that's it. And then check the other element. You know, hydrogen doesn't have except 1. So أكيد it share with 1. For sure. Right. Let's take ammonia. Ammonia is nitrogen with 3 hydrogens. So if it is only 1 nitrogen, how many hydrogens are there? I'm having 3 hydrogens. Type every nitrogen is 7. So 2, 5. Well, I'm having how many hydrogens? I'm having 3 hydrogens. So it's going to share with everyone with what? With oxygen. Someone is sending on the group.
It's going to share 3 electrons with 3 hydrogen atoms.
Exactly. But every nitrogen is going to share with 3 hydrogens, as you see here. Why it's going to share by 3? لأنه الأوتر shell for nitrogen is having, في الأوتر shell it's having 5. يعني this means it needs 3 more to be stable. Since it needs 3 more, يبقى this means it's going to share here by 1, here by 1, here by 1. لأنه as I told you, nitrogen doesn't have except 1 to share with. طيب والنيتروجين لها how many electrons to be stable? هي في الأوتر shell كان عندها 5. عملت share here 1 here 1 here 1 يبقى still في 2 electrons I didn't use them in sharing. That's why I put them here. Okay. But what about methane? Methane is CH4. So it's only one carbon. The carbon is 2 and 6. The carbon قصدي is 6 يعني 2 and 4. طب since الكربون عنده في الأوتر shell 4 electrons يبقى still I need how many more to be stable? I need 4 more to be stable. So every carbon will share one here, one here, one here, one here with the 4 hydrogens. So check كده اهو يبقى every carbon will share one here, one here, one here, one here. Okay? With nothing more left for the carbon لأنه already I was having 4 electrons in the outer shell. It was having 4 electrons in the outer shell, so I shared every one by one, so I don't have more. Okay?
مس هو الكربون هو الوحيد اللي بيبقى يعني بيبقى عنده 4 electrons وبيعمل sharing صح؟
It's not a must, but silicon for group 4. It has also 4.
بس
But
يعني
the
في اللي
carbon,
بيعمل
I can say carbon is the most common one. اللي عنده 4 electrons في outer shell, that's true. طب let's take carbon dioxide. عشان carbon dioxide is a very important example. Carbon dioxide is CO2. So I have one carbon in the middle, or I have 2 oxygens here. طب why did I put the carbon هو اللي in the middle? Why did I put it like this? لأنه I'm having only one carbon. If we said before, if I'm having one element one time, يبقى you need to put it in the middle. طيب الكربون was 6. So 2, 4. And you have 2 oxygens. 2, 6 or 2, 6. يبقى this means what will happen? يبقى this means in 4 electrons you will share here by 2 and you will share here by 2. And the carbon في outer shell I'm having 4. So I will share 2 with this oxygen or I will share 2 with this oxygen. Okay? Why? لأنه as I said الكربون عنده 4 في outer shell I need لسه more 4 to
رضا قلعت.
Okay? So I'm going to put out like this. You can put different symbols. I'm going to put out 2, 2 like this. Why did I put 4 و4? لأنه as I told you الكربون عنده في outer shell 4. But since I'm having 4 يبقى still I need 3 more, I need 4 more to be stable. But since I need 4 more يبقى I will share by 4. يعني I usually check في outer shell. If I need 2 more يبقى I will share by 2. If I need 3 more I share by 3. If I need 4 more I share by 4. And then you will check. الأكسجين بقى كان عنده في outer shell 6. I shared by 2. يبقى still how many I didn't use? 4. I'll put 4 here and 4 here.
بس هو ممكن تعملي ريبيت للحتة دي عشان اتلخبطت.
I know this is a little bit tricky. Carbon dioxide is very tricky. Again, I'm saying carbon is having في outer shell 4. يعني this means إنه every carbon needs 4 more. احنا قلنا إن أنا I need to have إيه؟ هي already عندها 4. So I need to have more 4 so I can have 8. لأن outer shell is filled by 8. يبقى I need to share by 4 more. طب how can I get the 4? I'm having oxygen. I'm having who is surrounding me as a carbon? I'm having oxygen here or oxygen here. يعني I need to share with this by 2 and with this by 2. This what will happen. أهو. I will share here 2 I will share here 2. Right. After I share here 2, I share here 2. I need to check about how much left for every oxygen. Every oxygen is 6. So I shared هو already can 6. I shared by 2. يبقى still how many I didn't use in sharing? 4. So that's why I'll put 2 up, 2 down.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this means you know every carbon is sharing double bond here or double bond here. Why I'm going to do it like this? لأنه it is doing it's sharing here 4 وhere 4 يعني 2 و 2. But that's why it is double bond to double bond. But what about الإيثين? الإيثين again is tricky. الكربون is 6 so 2 4. طب هي البروبلم في الإيثين إن أنا I'm having 2 carbons و I'm having 6 hydrogens. So I need to put what? I need to put carbon here or carbon here. Well, I need to surround them by 6 hydrogens like this. اهو 6 hydrogens. طب why did I do it like this? Because I told you if it's only one type يعني الكربون they are less number than the hydrogen. So that's why I'm going to put them in the middle. طب what is surrounding them? The hydrogens. So that's why I'm going to put all the hydrogens surrounding them. وكده كده الهيدروجين is not going to share except by one. So that's why it's easy. اهو like this. See? So every carbon is going to share with the hydrogens by one. But what about the carbon? Every carbon مع carbon it's going to share by what? The carbon with the carbon is going to share only by one. Why? لأنه في الأوتر shell I was having 4. عملت share مع ده 1 وده 1 وده 1. So still only فاضل لي 1. That's why I put like this. 2 dots. يبقى this means if I want to draw it, how should I draw it? C with 3 hydrogens here with 3 hydrogens here. Okay? طب if I want to draw C2H4, C2H4 is trickier. اسمه إيثين.
مس هو احنا بنعمل خط واحدة داش واحدة علشان هي 2 electrons.
Yes, exactly. That's true. طب if it is C2H4 يبقى أنا I will remove الكربون الهيدروجينز دي. Wow, it is.
Miss, thank you so much for helping us.
It's always my pleasure, Juju. I know bonds are so confusing for many students. So Allah, it's the easiest part. But so for some students, it's confusing. That's why I'm doing it step by step. I'm thinking to do once we're done, إن شاء الله next class, next Friday المفروض يكون vacation والله عشان احنا عندنا vacation. بس يعني مش عارفة لسه I will cancel it ولا لا. بس I know if I'll tell you we cancel it, you will. I will see يعني. بس next class إن شاء الله we're going to do the last type of bonding. I'm thinking بقى not to take the next topic. لا, I'm thinking to do one class past papers. So
حلوة.
I will choose common questions تكون موجودة في Cambridge وفي Edexcel, same ideas. So I can do it once we're done with bonding. So if anyone is finding a problem with doing past papers, then I will show you how we will answer it. لأن bonding يعني it's a big amount. It will help you إن شاء الله once we're done with bonding. طيب. For here, I'm having for every carbon, I'm having 4 electrons, as I said. طب at this time بقى, I'm having for ethene 2 C's or 4 hydrogens. As I told you, the easiest part, draw the hydrogens. This is the easiest part. طب كده for every carbon, I'm having how many electrons في outer shell? I'm having 4. I shared one with the hydrogen, one with the hydrogen. يبقى still I need to share less still by كام? I was having 4. يبقى I need 4 more to be stable. طب عملت share مع هيدروجين وهيدروجين يبقى still every carbon needs to share by 2. يبقى how should I draw it? Like this. Double bond here. Supposed to be C, double bond C, and then the H's are there. Okay, why? How do I know it? As I told you, just draw the hydrogens. If you find the hydrogens, خلاص, it's going to be easy. يعني just draw the hydrogens and check how many electrons are there. The rest will be easier. الكربون كان عندها 4 electrons في الأوتر shell يبقى I need more 4 to be stable. طب since I need more 4 I shared by 2 of them يبقى still فاضل لي 2. That's why every carbon will share by 2. This is what will happen.
مس هو مش المفروض يبقى 2؟ مش فاهمة الحتة دي.
أنا عندي في الأوتر shell 4 فأنا عملت share ب 1 here 1 here يبقى محتاجة لسه كمان I need to have more 4 that's why I will share with مين؟ يعني في الأوتر shell كان عندي 4 عملت share مع هيدروجين وهيدروجين يبقى still في 2 more I need to share with them. That's why I shared with the carbon.
هو احنا ما بنحسبش يعني الفور ان هي مثلا اصل هما الفور كده كلهم اتعاملوا مع الهيدروجين.
No. أنا بحسب لكل كربون alone. Every carbon separate. عشان even if you want to make sure بصي نفترض ان انت you want to make sure count for every carbon alone. يعني بصي مثلا الكربون دي عندها how many 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 يبقى كده كربون stable. carbon dioxide. ما هو I was carbon dioxide again. I explained it. That's okay. I will explain it again. No problem. I will explain carbon dioxide again. Carbon dioxide again. CO2. The carbon is 6. Okay, so 2 and 4. I'm having how many oxygen? I'm having oxygen, 2 oxygens. 2 with 6, so 2 with 6. Okay, then what will happen? What will happen by إشراق؟ أهو الكربون عندها في الأوتر شيل 4. Since الكربون عندها 4 electrons في الأوتر شيل يبقى this means I need 4 more. يعني I need to have more 4 so I can be stable. يبقى it's going to share here by 2 و here by 2 with every oxygen. And that's why I will draw the oxygen or I will draw the carbons. Oh, yeah, 1 carbon was
This
surrounded by 2 oxygen. طيب then every
wait, is
oxygen,
oxygen balanced ولا لا?
excuse me,
Because they have 8 electrons in their outer shell.
مالها الأوكسجين؟
Yeah, the oxygen has 8 electrons in their outer shell, so maybe they're what is it called? Balanced already, صح? يعني they're fixed. They have fixed.
No, I didn't get your question.
طيب شوفي
Hmm.
sorry هل شو اسمه oxygen they have already 8 electrons صح؟ So are they what is it called? Fixed already, they already have 8 electrons, so they don't need to share and
No, take care. هما they have total 8 بس أنا I want the outer shell to be 8 not the total number to be 8.
okay طيب
That's why I always tell you do configuration first. Don't just go jump كده. No. So I'm having, as I said, for the carbon, I'm having 40, but this means I will, since I have 40, but I need to share by 4. Yeah, but I will share here by 2. Oh. Well, I will share here by 2. And then for every oxygen need how many more? It was having 6 electrons. It was having 6. I shared by 2, يبقى still 4. That's why I put here 4, I put here 4. Even if you want to check, تعالوا نعمل count كده. If you want to check. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. يبقى every oxygen is having 8 electrons in the outer shell. طيب. يبقى it is stable. Our last part that we are going to say for today, what is the properties for the covalent bond? Same like what we did for ionic. I'm going to say the properties. وإن شاء الله next class we are going to take a giant covalent والmetallic. Next class is the easiest one. The giant covalent والmetallic دول very easy. وده class after إن شاء الله we will do bonding. Past papers يعني. طيب same like what we did في ionic, we were talking about what are the properties of covalent. يعني are they having high melting point ولا low melting point? Are they soluble in water ولا insoluble? Are they having high melting or boiling point ولا low melting or boiling point, and so on. Number one, you need to know in the covalent bonds are always very weak bonds. They are not that strong. They are very weak. يعني they are always like water وكربون dioxide وأمونيا كلهم حاجات really weak. يبقى the majority of the covalent bond are having weak intermolecular forces. Why intermolecular؟ بصوا بقى. يعني أنا مثلا دلوقتي عشان this is very tricky برضه. يعني imagine with me إن this is مثلا hydrogen وhydrogen. وagain this is hydrogen وhydrogen. وagain this is hydrogen وhydrogen. If every one of these is a molecule. Okay, طب the forces بقى between the molecules is ايه؟ And if this is a molecule or this is a molecule, the forces between the molecules like this. It's a very weak force. يبقى the forces between the molecules and each others, يعني this is hydrogen وhydrogen. Or this is hydrogen وhydrogen. The forces between the molecules are really weak. That's why it needs small amount of energy to break. يعني it breaks so easily. Why? Why does it break so easily? لأنه, as I told you, why it's going to break so easily? لأنه the forces يعني imagine this is مثلا hydrogen وhydrogen و this is hydrogen وhydrogen. The forces between the molecule, this H2 with this H2, the forces between them are really weak. So it needs small amount of energy to break. So in the exam, he will ask you, explain why carbon dioxide must have low melting boiling point, or explain why methane have low melting boiling point. So I will say, because they have weak forces of attraction between the molecules. So small amount of energy required to overcome these forces. Or if you want to say, because it have weak forces of, weak intermolecular forces, again, it's correct. لأنه كلمة intermolecular يعني between the molecules. تفتكر
Miss
هناك في الأيونيك كنا بنقول strong forces between the ions في الأيونيك لأن الأيونيك very hard. لكن هنا weak forces between the molecules. But that's why they are always very weak. Okay. طب إيه other properties؟ طبعا they don't conduct electricity. They don't have free moving electrons. They don't have free moving ions. That's why they don't conduct electricity. They are insoluble in water. They don't dissolve in water. يعني to dissolve any covalent compound, you need to get any organic solvent. Like hexane, petrol. لكن if you just put water, it's not going to dissolve. طبعا for sure, as I told you, they are soft. Yeah. They don't conduct electricity. They are insoluble in water. They are having low melting boiling point. Covalent.
Miss
already they are non-metals يعني. So for sure they have low. One more last point. If they ask you what's meant by covalent bond. عشان this question is very common, especially for Edexcel students. It's not common at all for Cambridge. بس Edexcel يعني almost you will find this question يمكن every year. Very common. What's meant by a covalent bond? So all the time when I ask you about covalent bond, you need to say it is the force, it is the attraction force between the shared electrons. عشان احنا قلنا قبل كده انه دايما الكوفالنت بوند يعني imagine ان these are two atoms هي between the shared electrons. هنا مثلا في shared electrons يبقى between the shared electrons والnuclei of the atom. يبقى once again, what's meant by covalent bond? Covalent bond, it is the attraction force between what and what? Between the shared electrons and the nuclei of the atom. يعني ايه nuclei؟ يعني nucleus of the atom. يبقى the force that attracts the shared electron with the nucleus of the atom is called covalent bond. As I told you, inshallah, next Friday, we're going to do the last type of covalent bond, اللي هو giant covalent. لأنه all these are simple covalent compounds. They are very weak. Inshallah, next Friday, we're going to take the giant covalent with metallic. So
Miss,
we'll finish all the
may I
bonds,
ask
inshallah,
something?
next class. Sorry?
May I ask something?
Sure. Anyone, if you want to leave, I'm done خلاص with the topic. If you want to leave, you can leave. Yes.
Miss, for the ionic, we said that it has it conducts electricity because it has, do we say free ions, free moving ions, or free moving electrons?
Free moving ions. Since it's
But
ionic compound, يبقى free moving ions.
But for the covalent,
weak forces of attraction between molecules. Usually
no free.
here we use molecules. There we use ions.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Great. What about group 8? No, يا محمد. Group 8, they will never do any bond. Do you know why? لأنه already يا محمد هم group 8, they are stable. So why they need to do any bonding? They don't need to lose ولا gain ولا share, nothing. لأن هم already they are stable. Okay? Okay. You're most welcome يا ريناد. Yes,
Miss, دلوقتي هو يعني حضرتك كنت بتتكلمي على اللو melting point والboiling point بتاع الكوفالنت، قلتي weak intermolecular forces يعني ما بين التو molecules، صح؟ أما في الأيونيك ما بين كل أيون والتانية، صح؟
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. You're most welcome يا كريم. You're most welcome يا محمد. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great night. I'm going to see you إن شاء الله next class.